So today we're talking about the latest buzz in the cryptocurrency world. It's Casey Rodamore's Ordinals, Bitcoin NFTs. If you're an avid crypto enthusiast, you may have heard these exciting new tokens. And in this video, we're going to take a closer look at what the Ordinals are, how they work, and reasons behind their recent price surge, upwards around like 2 Bitcoin. So what exactly are ordinals? Well, in simple terms, they're a new type of token that are built on the Bitcoin network. Yeah, the one the boomers use. They were created by this Casey Rodamore, and have been attracting a lot of attention from the crypto community lately. Ordinals are unique because the creation of this new type of smart contract, which is basically what my understanding is, it's like not the equivalent, but it's something similar to an ERC 721 on the Bitcoin network. So it's smart contracts on the Bitcoin network that just came out in the last little bit. And if you look at this guy right here, Casey Rodamore, he's that guy that made this and published the open source for it. And he's got some strong words for it. Ordinal haters can either protest at the corner of Seath and Cope Avenue, or they can build. Shots fired. I like it. I like him. Good. Ordinals are unique because they allow for the creation of a new type of smart contract, like I just said. But these smart contracts can be used as the same as any other one. They can, for a variety of purposes, such as like decentralized finance. They can do the DeFi. You can do prediction markets and much, much more. Here's one. Rock with a hat. So, I mean, if that's not understanding, if that's not clear enough as to why they're important, well, they represent a significant step forward for the Bitcoin network, where a lot before it was kind of like digital gold. I always said Ethereum's like oil. You can refine oil into many useful products. Ethereum has that platform. Bitcoin, I've always said, was kind of like a little bit of this. Yeah, it's been 84 years. So, but you wouldn't use Bitcoin for anything. Like, yeah, Lightning's out there, but still, like, you don't see people using Bitcoin to go buy anything, really. It's just to buy other Bitcoin. So it's an interesting development to make it competitive, I think, in today's kind of market. There's a bunch of different names with them, and the prices are going crazy. We'll get to the prices here in just a minute. It's pretty much just this all the way. But this is it. Bitcoin NFTs, also known as ordinals, inscriptions, and digital artifacts, are the hottest new trend. Don't be caught up in the meta. It could just fade. Could not, though. So ordinals are awesome because they allow native on-chain storage of JPEGs. There's no need for centralized storage like IPFS, which make ordinals bulletproof. Because you think about IPFS, on an Ethereum NFT, there's an IPFS that is URI, I believe it's called, is hooked up to an address for a picture of the JPEG. So it's kind of like, okay, this is... the address is here, or sorry, they have this all over here, right? That has a whole bunch of different systems that are hosting it. So it's kind of like a torrent. You know, as long as people are hosting the files, it's not going to go anywhere. But really, like, there is some on-chain art, like, you know, EtherOrcs, I believe, was 100%. Anonymous was a pioneer in it. There's a couple on-chain, 100% on-chain. So it just takes a lot. It takes a lot of money, gas fees and storage, just to get those onto the chain. Here's an example of Inscription 284. Oh, it's over here. Blue hoodie alien punk. Now here's the technical part. We're gonna get into some jargon here. It's gonna get super nerdy. Let me see if I got a GIF for that one. So basically, ordinals are single satoshis, sats, with inscribed arbitrary content using Bitcoin's built-in scripting language. They're immutable, fully decentralized, and 100% on-chain. OG as fuck, as he says. But what is a Satoshi? So a single Satoshi is the smallest unit of measurement for Bitcoin. So if you say it's named after Satoshi Nakamoto, if you don't know who that is, you should. One Satoshi is equivalent to 0.000000001 Bitcoin. So they're saying, I'm kind of reading off a little bit of something here because it's kind of tough to just memorize. But for example, if the price of Bitcoin is $50,000, then one Satoshi would be equal to 0.0000005 cents. Basically what it does is it makes it a lot easier to accessible for usable for everyday transactions. So you can break it down that far, right? I think there's some programming behind it because you can't use... It doesn't matter. You do need a dedicated wallet for this shit. So you can see this. There's it's really complicated, I think. So jump in, but this isn't going to go into depth that much. There's a lot of places out there. I can post some of these links into the description below. You'll see them, but it's basically how to get how to make an ordinal. It's not trivial. It's not trivial, as this guy says here. Bitcoin developers hate this, and I find a lot of people on my timeline are, I don't know what you'd call it, but I chuckle sometimes. They're like, I'm going to buy these things just because I know Bitcoin maxis hate NFTs. They're trying to censor it, blah, blah, blah. All I say to that, bud, is just like, what flag, red flag, it's all you see. See, look at this shit. I'm going to post this thread as well, Dada's thread. He is very, very good. He's the CEO at Forgotten Runes. He's all about it. I'm going to go over one thing that's very important here before we get into the prices. So you can accidentally send your Bitcoin NFTs out and you'll lose them. You'll lose them quickly. And that's because of this little thing called UXTs. You can see it right here, understanding them. They'll peel off some Satoshis from a single UTXO. This shit is confusing. I'm going to sum it up right here. He does it very well. Basically, if I have $1 and I want to give you 50 cents, so before it, I have $1. After it, you have 50 cents, I have 50 cents. That's how Ethereum works. That's not Bitcoin. That's how Ethereum works. Get your damn notes out. Take some notes on this. It's important. On Bitcoin, it's a little bit different because we track specific bills, is what you say. If I want to give you 50 cents, I just rip a specific bill in half and give you half. So before he has a $1 bill, make transaction, I tear the bill in half and give you half of it. I have half a bill, you have half a bill. So we keep tearing this bill until, forever. And you can and one of those bills may have your Bitcoin NFT. So once you get your NFT in there, in your Bitcoin wallet, don't transfer any tokens out. Make it a vault. People are getting down for it, man. Frank D. God's even in the meta here. He's like, I might just call it, fuck around, drop Bitcoin NFT. One Bitcoin mint price. That's like $23,000 US. But you got to be wary, man. When people are talking about it on Twitter, I find it's already too late for me. I don't buy that shit. I've been burned so much, and people look like this after I get burned because I'm their exit liquidity. Can you relate? Tell me in the comments. Big SL. I got some big ones. Yeah, sitting here bragging about this. But one thing to be careful about is Dingling. He's pretty famous. I think he came up pretty big in the NFT bull run. He just bought 7% of the ordinal punks that's in one foul swoop for 15 Bitcoin or 211 ETH. 211 ETH times, so 30 ETH he paid for these things. It's tough. So this is his sums that he bought. You can see these here. Let me get this shit off the screen and move this shit back. But you can see that here. That's where they're at. If you want to go deep, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. I'll post it. But man, there's some nice ones in there. So look at those are 30 ETH. But listen, this shit ain't for the faint of heart. If you wanted to go buy some of these, what I've heard, you have to go into the Ordinal Discord. Just search for it. Be careful. Everything is super manual, and some of the links below you'll see it. Some of the processes, but man, oh man, you can get burned pretty quick. So be careful. Don't be someone's exit liquidity. Make sure you understand what you're doing. Don't send it out by accident. Is it here to stay? We don't know. There's some providence to it. Is it a new meta that's going to fade in a week? I don't know. Solana came around and stayed around for a while on the NFT scene. But, man, just be careful out there. One thing I heard, I can't remember where I did see it, but they basically have these Google spreadsheets for bids and asks for your ordinals, punks, NFTs. And that's how you are negotiating this this marketplace. There is no marketplace for it right now. I think there might be something coming up pretty quick. They're talking about Twitch, which is like a Bitcoin, or not a Bitcoin, but a crypto Twitter or something like that. It's all early days. Don't get scammed. Be careful. At the end of the day, this is the ability to create a new type of smart contract. It offers a lot that can happen to the Bitcoin ecosystem. Things can fucking change real quick. And as we've seen with the recent price increases, 211 ETH for 7 of them, 30. I think they're even worth more now. That's like a day old, and that's like 7 years in crypto space. But they're attracting a lot of attention from investors and crypto enthusiasts, and that's all I got for today. So if you like this, man, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Yeah, tell your friends, man. Share this shit. It's awesome. We got some cool content coming out here too. I can't wait for us to keep an eye on the channel.